So let me just once again say you're going to need a stack of blankets or pillows about that high. It's about a foot high. I have one that I'm going to sit on, and I'm going to show you the first posture first with that blanket. You may or may not need it. So this is a restorative practice. We're going to hold some postures 10 minutes, some 5, some about 7, and then we'll do yoga nidra at the end. The way I like to sign off from yoga nidra is to just sign off and let you all hang out for as long as you want. I'll wake you up. I'll say this is the end. Just lie there and be comfortable for as long as you want, because some of you might just want to be there for another half hour. Hopefully you'll be incredibly relaxed and you'll go, yeah, I'd like to lie here for as long as I want to. So I will turn off my computer, and so consider this your goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Because I'm glad you're here, but I also don't want to disturb you at the end. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to get back to my mat here. I'm going to take this blanket that I have folded just a couple times over, just like I usually do, and I'm going to sit on it. Now we're going to go into a wide-legged forward fold to start. That's why I'm sitting on this blanket, because those of you who have tight hamstrings at the back of your thighs, you're going to want to lift yourself up a little bit. If that's not an issue for you, then you don't need to sit on a blanket. And you might find that once you get into the posture, you change your mind, and that's fine. So one thing I will say about a restorative practice, if you do get uncomfortable, then move yourself. Because if your leg is falling asleep or your arm is falling asleep, then there's no good in that, right? So just move yourself, wiggle yourself around a little bit, get yourself comfortable again, and then come or get another prop or another blanket, whatever you need, and then come back and join us. Now, whenever doing a forward fold, remember you can bend your knees. So bending your knees, if that's more comfortable for you, great. If you say, wow, bending my knees requires a lot of effort, well, then maybe if you put a pillow under your knees, have my handy dandy half bolsters here, put some pillows under your knees like that, then you can relax your legs into your prop. If you have a pillow from your couch, doesn't have to be, I just happen to have these next to me. I made this pile of blankets about a foot high. You might find that that's too low. We're going forward like this. We're going to turn our head sideways and rest it on the blanket. I'm going to tell you when we're halfway done, because when we're halfway done, I'm going to have you turn your head the other way so that both sides of your neck have the same kind of experience. You don't have to use anything under your knees. You could have a lower pile of blankets. You could have a higher pile of blankets. If I felt like this was too low, I didn't want to go down that high or down that low, I'll put a bolster on top, maybe another pillow, another blanket, and that's where I'm going to land. So for right now, let's all decide where we're going to be, what props we're going to use. You know where you're going. I've got the blankets pulled right up into that space between my legs. Your legs could be closer together. They could be further apart. The whole idea here in a restorative class is to get as comfortable as possible and to feel as supported as possible. So you might want to adjust how close or far your blankets are from you. All right, you might want to turn your pile the other way. So you do you, okay? So this is what I look like here in this restorative posture. This is comfortable for me. I'm going to let my arms come down beside my blanket. I'm going to turn my head to one side, and then I'm going to completely relax. And we're going to hold this for about 7 minutes. So I will tell you when we're halfway there, and you will turn your head to the other side. Remember, if for whatever reason you're not comfortable, change your position. If you have to stay on your forearms here, then stay on your forearms. Maybe you can relax your head. So let's get as comfortable as we can into our first posture, the wide-legged forward fold. And then we're going to melt ourselves right down into our pile of blankets, our pile of pillows, whatever we've got. And you're going to let all of the tension from your body be released into your prop. Soften your shoulders, your neck, your jaw. And allow yourself to follow the flow of gentle breath through your body. Now let's all turn our head the opposite way from the way you have it. Let your other cheek rest on your props. Let yourself melt down. We're staying connected to the breath. So feeling the breath moving in and out of your body. Each out breath allows you to relax a little bit deeper. Let's go ahead and release from the pose. So lifting yourself away from your props. We'll move the props out of the way without straining and just bring your legs together and give them a little bit of a tap. So I've brought my props out here to my left side. Again, you're going to determine how high this pile is. Some of you might find that this is a little bit too high. So you're going to take one of your blankets or pillows away and make your pile a little bit lower. We're going to do a side bend. So this is a little bit more strenuous than the forward bend. And I'll tell you why when we get into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have that pile of whatever you've got sitting next to you sitting off to your left side and pulled up right next to your hip so you can feel it on your hip. And then we're just going to let our rib cage rest on it. And my left arm is going to slide right out there over the top of my mat. Now my legs, let's pay attention to those for a second. So I've got mine stacked right now. You might find that it's more comfortable to put one in front of the other, or you might find that that is comfortable, yes, but even more comfortable if you've got a blanket in between your legs. So you might experiment with a blanket or pillow, whatever you've got, and put that right in between your legs. You want to feel secure enough that you're not going to tip forward and you're not going to tip back when you're lying sideways on your blankets or your pillows. I'm going to let my head just rest on my arm. And then the right arm is going to come up and it's going to hang over the ear. So this is the part that you may get tired of doing. And if your arm does get tired of being in this position, then just move it in front of you. Release that arm and put it in front of you so that you don't have to have it hanging over your head. With it hanging over your head, you're going to feel a beautiful stretch in your right side. So it's kind of nice if you can hang it there. We're only going to be on each side for 5 minutes. So I'm not going to hold this one quite so long. So you've got your whole left rib cage on your props. It's high enough that you're not resting totally on the floor. You feel like you've got a little bit of bend here in your spine, but you don't want to feel like you're straining. Let your head rest on your outstretched left arm and let your right arm hang over your ear. If you feel like you're tipping forward or you're tipping backward, then you're not truly in a side bend. So make that adjustment. Adjust your legs so you're comfortable and you feel stable. And then close your eyes if you're comfortable with your eyes closed and completely relax into your props. Long, deep breaths into the right rib cage. Follow the breath. Try to relax your right arm as best you can. Your face stays soft. Whole body releasing into this pile of props. Now let's release the right arm by putting it on the pile of your props, pushing yourself up, just like we always do when we're coming up from being on our sides. We'll come all the way up and we're going to change sides. So my suggestion to you is to just turn around. Okay, I'll turn around so you can see what I mean. Excuse my back. So pull your props next to your hip. Slide your right arm out. Let your head rest on your arm. Adjust your legs and maybe use that prop between them. And then last but not least, we're going to let the left arm lift up over the ear. So the head is resting on the arm and the left arm is just hanging. There's no tension in the arm. Hopefully you're feeling a big stretch through the left side of your body now. So let go into that stretch. Let your whole body relax into that stretch. Soften your jaw. Remember, we don't want to tip forward or back. We want to be squarely, have those ribs squarely on your pile of props. And then release and let go. Just let go into your props. There is no tension in your body. Feel the breath moving through it. Now through the left rib cage, the left side of the body, the left arm. Do what you can to get out of the way. Enjoy the stretch. Now let's bring the left hand back to your props. Push yourself up. Slowly, we're going to turn towards our props. We're coming to child's pose, which we'll hold for about 10 minutes. I'm using my same pile of props. I might want to bring my blanket back and make it a little bit higher. We're going to keep the knees bent in child's pose and wide. So bringing your knees out to the outer edges of your mat, and we'll be folding over like this with the head turned to one side. Your arms can be on your props, they can be on the floor. If you don't like child's pose, this is hard for you, try putting a blanket underneath your buttocks, in between your buttocks and your feet, and see if that helps you, if you have a little bit more space in your knees. If child's pose is absolutely not for you, there is no way you can get comfortable in it, then you're going to go to your back. You're going to come to your back and you're going to pull your knees to your chest and you're going to hang out here. If you get tired of holding your knees to your chest, you might consider having your props a little bit closer and resting your feet on them and letting your arms come out more out to T. You won't be getting the full effect of the child's pose, but you'll still be in a forward bend. So let's go ahead and get into child's pose. Get yourself snuggled in there. Get yourself comfortable. Turn your head to one side, either side. I'll tell you when we're about 5 minutes in, and I'll have you turn your head the other way. If at any point you need to rock forward to give your knees a little bit of a break, then go ahead and do that. You could also hold with your belly on your pile of props. So there's less of a bend in your knees. So that's also something you might do. If that is something you're planning on doing, put another blanket underneath your head so your head isn't hanging off the end. Okay, so there's a couple of variations for you. On your back with your feet on props, in child's pose, knees wide, or in this less folded version of child's pose with your chest on your props. And then, as always, melt into your props. Melt into your props. Get as soft as you can. Feel the breath flow between you and your props. Feel the breath flow into your back. And each exhalation, you're feeling a little heavier. Let your props hold you, not the other way around. We're letting the props hold us, the form of your body that you've chosen to hold in, and completely let go. Now let's lift the head and turn it to the other side. Continue to follow the breath. Continue to sink into your props. Let go anywhere that you can, places that still hold. Let your whole body be heavy and soft. Now let's bring both of your hands to the ground next to your props if they're not there already, and push yourself up from your pile of props so that you can free your legs out front. And let's all come to just a seated position with our legs either straight or crossed. And let's do a circle around just to have a little bit of an interlude here before we go to the next posture. I know for some people that's a long time to be in child's pose. If you feel like you need to stretch your legs out, stretch them out. We're going to circle the other way. And then we'll come all the way back up. And if you feel like you need to give your legs a little tap, your ankles a little circle, that's a long time for your ankles to be stretched in that position. For some of you, let's circle the other way. And then we're going to move into a twist. And I'm going to leave my props exactly where they are. Again, we might play around with the height. So I may decide that I want this to be a little bit lower, a little bit higher. You'll know when you get in there. So let's have the stack of props up next to your left hip. Swing your legs over to the right side like you're a little mermaid. And then we're going to turn the whole torso towards the prop. We're going to let ourselves come down over the prop. So now we've got our legs here with me facing forward and the torso twisted. So we've got a nice rotation through the spine. Here, I feel like my head is dropping a little bit lower than I want it to. So I'm going to take a little extra blanket and build it up so that my spine feels a little bit more neutral from my thoracic spine into my cervical spine, my neck. Then we're going to let ourselves just relax over the props. Arms are heavy, shoulders are heavy. We've got our head turned one way. So let's talk about this. If your head is turned towards your knees, that's a little bit less rotation. If you turn it away, that's a little bit more rotation through the cervical spine, through your neck. So you decide, do I want to have a greater rotation through my neck, or I just like the way it feels if my face is pointing in the same direction as my knees. So you decide where you want to be. Again, you also decide, do you need something in between your legs to feel more comfortable, to feel like you're more supported here? This is a little too big, but if you had an extra blanket or something you might want to put between your knees, feel free to do that. Make yourself as comfortable as possible. That's the whole idea around these restorative postures, is just to get comfortable and feel supported wherever you are. So we're going to hang out in this twist for a few minutes. So let yourself sink in, soften, relax, get one with your pile of props here, and allow the props to hold you. So you are continuously draping yourself, allowing yourself to be heavy, yielding to this pile of pillows, blankets, whatever you've got, and following the flow of your breath through your body. That is your anchor. Anchor to your breath and let everything else fall away. Now, wherever you are, we're going to put our hands on the floor next to our pile of props. Lift yourself up. And just as we did when we were doing the side bend, I'm going to have you turn the other direction. So you don't have to move your props. You can just move your body. So now your right hip is right next to your pile of props, and you've got your little mermaid tail heading off to the left there. We're going to turn towards the pile. This is important so that we are straight on the pile, and then we're going to let ourselves relax over the pile. Again, you decide which way it feels better to turn your head. Away from your knees, a little more of a rotation towards your knees, a little more comfortable maybe. And then let yourself relax, soften over the props, feel the torso resting, each side of the torso resting equally, equal weight, right and left across your pile of props. And letting go, just breathe. Enjoy this time where there's nothing to do, but relax and breathe. Allow yourself to be completely drawn into this moment and allow the breath to be what captures your attention. Let's put both of our hands on the floor next to our props. Push yourself all the way up. Come to an upright position. And we're going to make our move into relaxation, Shavasana. So I'm going to suggest that you take a couple of your pillows or blankets away so that you still have a pile, but it's quite low to the ground. And then take another blanket and maybe fold it again, or maybe you have a pillow and put it on the end of that pile. That's where your head is going to go. You might even want to make that a little bit higher. I'm going to reserve another prop, whether it be a blanket or a bolster or a pillow. I happen to have a blanket here, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to slide it under my knees. So I have my hips resting right on my pile of blankets, not on them, but in front of them. I shouldn't say on. And I'm going to go ahead and lie back and put my head on that slightly elevated platform of pillows or blankets that I made for myself. And then I have my rounded rolled blanket underneath my knees. Arms are coming out beside you. If you feel like you need something under your arms, put something under your arms so that they feel more supported. Mine feel pretty good here. We're going to let our feet drop out. Hopefully this is comfortable for those of you who don't feel comfortable in Shavasana a lot, just having that little lift underneath your knees and the little support underneath your low back. So find your way into this last posture for relaxation. This is the posture that we will also be doing the Yoga Nidra in. So you may at this point decide that it's nice to cover yourself with another blanket and or put an eye pillow or some sort of covering over your eyes. So this is where you'll be for the next 40 minutes. So get as comfortable and supported as you possibly can. If you need to move, again, if you need to move because you feel like you're not so comfortable, now's the time to do it. Once we get into Yoga Nidra, you're going to want to be as still as you possibly can be. So allow yourself to melt down into whatever is holding you. Let your whole body relax. Let the breath become very quiet. One thing I'll say before we get into the Yoga Nidra is that there will be a place at the very beginning and the very ending where I will ask you for your resolve. That is a positive affirmation that you will say to yourself. So you may want to think about that just a little bit, not too hard. One of the ones that I use a lot is my relationships are harmonious. Or another one might be my life is easy and joyful. So something that is positive, stated as if it has already happened. If you can't think of anything, that's fine. Just continue to relax into your props. Feel the easy breath through your body. When you feel like you've relaxed all that you can, relax a little bit more. Let yourself sink down into the floor underneath you, the props on top of the floor. Let your shoulders become very heavy. Your arms are very heavy. Your legs and feet very heavy. Let your feet drop out so you're holding no tension through your hips. Continue to adjust yourself so that you feel absolutely comfortable, so that when we do begin, you will feel like you don't have to move. Snuggle down in, soft and comfortable, heavy and warm. As you take your breaths, feel the in-breath come in, and then as you exhale, exhale and mentally say to yourself the word relax. So you're taking a nice breath in and exhaling it, relax. Continue like this for the next few breaths. Now become aware of distant sounds, sounds that you may hear outside of your house. And focus on just those sounds that are far away. Try to notice them without judging. Experience them purely as sound. And next, become aware of the sounds that are a little bit closer to you, the sounds that are coming from somewhere else in your house. Maybe it's a television in another room, or a pet barking at something outside. Just notice the distant sounds that are closer now. And then focus on the sounds from the room that you are lying in. Maybe you can hear the fan on your computer, or the sound of your tummy rumbling. Maybe the soft music you've decided to play. Focus on each of them separately. Experience each one as its own sound. Now, in your mind's eye, without opening your eyes, visualize the walls around you, the windows and the doors, the ceiling overhead, the floor, and your body lying on the floor. Feel your body lying on the floor and develop the awareness of your body lying on the floor. Notice your breath without trying to change it. Notice the spontaneous breath that flows through your body easily and naturally. The practice of Yoga Nidra begins now. This is the time to make your resolve a simple resolve, stated clearly in a positive way 3 times to yourself. Now we begin what's called a rotation of consciousness. I will name different parts of your body. And as I name that part of your body, visualize it in your mind's eye and feel it. Let your awareness move there. So you're visualizing it and you're experiencing it. And we'll start with the right thumb. So move your awareness to your right hand thumb and visualize that in your mind's eye. And then move to your second finger, your third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, right thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now we move to the left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, waist, hip, left thigh, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, right side of the back, left side of the back, right buttock, left buttock, the spine, the whole of the back together. Move to the top of the head, forehead, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the eyebrow center, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, nose, tip of the nose, right nostril, left nostril, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, middle of the chest, navel, abdomen, whole of the right leg, whole of the left leg, both legs together, whole of the right arm, whole of the left arm, both arms together, whole of the back, whole of the front, whole of the head together, legs, arms, back, front, head, the whole of the body together, the whole of the body together, the whole of the body together. Develop awareness of the whole body and become aware of the space occupied by the body. Become aware of the body and the space that is occupied by your body. Become aware of the whole body and the floor. The whole body in relation to the floor. Become aware of the meeting points of the body and the floor. These are very subtle physical points. Feel the meeting points between the back of your head and the floor, shoulder blades and the floor, the elbows and the floor, the back of the hands and the floor, the buttocks and the floor, the calves and the floor, the heels and the floor. Awareness of all the meeting points between the body and the floor. Experience them all at once. Now switch your attention to the eyelids and feel the narrow line of meeting between the upper and lower eyelids. Feel the points where they meet. Intensify your awareness between the eyelids. And then the lips. Center your attention on the line between the lips. Feel the space between the upper lip and the lower lip, the meeting point between the lips. From the lips, we go to the breath. Draw your attention to the natural breath flowing in and out of your nostrils. Feel the breath moving in and out of the nostrils. And then see if you can feel the breath moving from the navel to the throat. Trace the trail of the breath from the navel to the throat. Be completely aware of breathing. Navel to throat, throat to navel. Do not try to force the breath. Just place your awareness on its path through your body. Navel to throat and throat to navel. Maintain your awareness just like this on your breath, but begin to count it backwards. We'll start at 54 and count like this. I am breathing in 54. I am breathing out 54. I am breathing in 53. I am breathing out 53, and so on. Count backwards to 0. Take your time. You may not get all the way to the end. Don't be concerned. Just continue breathing and counting. And now leaving the breath, awaken the feeling of heaviness in the body. Allow your body to feel heaviness. Heaviness in every single part of your body. You are feeling so heavy that you are sinking into the floor. Awareness of heaviness. Allow the body to become very heavy. Experience the feeling of heaviness. Now awaken the feeling of lightness in your body. Awaken the feeling of lightness. A sensation of lightness and weightlessness in all parts of the body. Your body feels so light that it seems to be floating away from the floor. Awareness of lightness in the body. Now awaken the experience of cold in the body. Awaken the experience of bitter cold in the body. Imagine that you are walking outside in the winter. Your feet feel very cold. You are cold all over. Experience this feeling of coldness in the body. Now awaken the sensation of heat. Awaken the experience of heat in your body. The whole body is hot. You feel hot all over. Recollect the feeling of heat in summer when you are out in the sun with no shade. Feel heat throughout your body. Awareness of heat in the body. Now allow yourself to experience your body resting comfortably on the floor. Withdraw your mind and concentrate on the space in front of your closed eyes. Imagine before you a transparent screen through which you can see infinite space, a space that extends as far as the eyes can see. Concentrate on this dark space and become aware of any phenomena that manifests within it. Awareness on the space behind your closed eyes. Do not become too involved. Practice with detached awareness. Now imagine yourself in a park in the early morning. The sun is not yet up and the park is deserted except for you. It's a beautiful park, calm and peaceful. Walk across the springy grass. Listen to the birds whistle and call as they welcome the new day. There are gardens of flowers, roses, yellow, pink, red, purple. Smell their fragrance and see the early morning dewdrops on their petals. Nearby the rose garden is a fish pond. Goldfish swim in and out amongst the water lilies. Watch their graceful movements. You continue to walk between trees, beautiful trees, bare trees and trees with leaves, wide spreading trees, and tall, stately trees. There is a clearing up ahead, and in the clearing is a small temple with an aura of light around it. You walk to the door. Look inside. It is cool and dim. On the walls, there are pictures of great saints. You sit down on the floor and close your eyes, become very still. A sense of deep peace and harmony envelops you as the sounds outside fade into the distance. Continue your awareness of being inside, sitting quietly in this temple. Feel the peace and harmony there. Now remember your resolve, the resolve that you repeated at the beginning of our practice, and repeat it now 3 times with the same feeling and awareness. Now become aware of your breathing again, your natural breathing. Feel your body breathing and notice the feeling of relaxation throughout. Develop existence of yourself, awareness of your existence, your body lying on the floor. Feel your body lying on the floor with the breath flowing through it. Become aware once again of the meeting points between your body and the floor. Your body resting heavily on those meeting points, softening into them. Begin to visualize the room around you once again, the walls, the windows and doors, the ceiling above you, the floor underneath. Continue to lie quietly here for as long as you like. Rest, relax, allow yourself to be present. The practice of Yoga Nidra ends now. Stay as long as you like where you are. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.